the property that we are working on acquiring. I just want you to come with me and I'll show you the expanse of the property. It stretches from this 185 kilometer peg, and it also goes and demarcates at Chinyamangodo River, which I'm going to show you. So if you can take a moment or two to walk with me along this property, you will see how long it is and at least the length of it. We might not see the breadth of it today, but we start from the 185 kilometer peg, and it demarcates on the east side of it, right here on the river on the east side of the property. And this river stretches all the way and spills into the dam that is at the end of the property, from which our major water source will come from. And on the other side of the south side of the road, the river also becomes a demarcation, and it curves all the way from this end here, and it curves all the way almost up to the in-between, almost close to the edge of the mountain that's appearing over there, almost right by the big tree. And our property on this side is going to be dedicated mostly for agricultural purposes. They try to put agricultural on the south side of the road, just so that we avoid siltation going inside into the dam, because this side, that's where the major dam is, which is actually the source of water from this area here. So they told us that we can only do the agricultural portion of our education on the south side of the road. So what we are at first we were wondering how much is it, the depth of the property from the road to where it ends at the dam. So today we just decided we will count the paces, in terms of just getting a general idea of the measurement of how long it is breadth-wise from the road to the dam. So we'll just start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 801, 802, 803, 804, 805, maybe up to here. So all in all, approximately it's about 800 meters from the road to come to where the dam is. But it might probably be a little larger than that, because when we were coming along the way, we didn't really go straight, because some of the areas were so crowded with trees, so we could not see them all. So it's probably, when you're coming from the center line of the property, it pretty much stretches very close to about 1 kilometer from where the road begins. Because you see right there, that small hill coming out on top of the tree, that's where the road is, and we've been walking all the way from there to come over in here to see. And this body of water, the dam, is going to be our major source of water for the needs that we have. They use this dam for fishing, and they also use it for drinking. Just across the mountain, you can probably see, if the camera can zoom in, way towards some whitish looking buildings over there. Those are, it's a center for water purification, because they use that for the whole neighborhood and for the area here. And we are going to benefit a little bit from that. That's going to be our source of water. We'll probably connect it from the purification center all the way back to campus, depending on where on the property are we going to decide to build the campus. Standing very close to the road, which is just around over there, but it's kind of like in the center a little bit of the property. And if you look to the west side, right on the edge of that copy there, you see some of the rocky places that are exposed. That's the edges of the west side of the property. And if we stretch and turn around and go to the east side, where that little river or creek that I showed you earlier stretches a little bit more, just deep down the that little bitty mountain over on the other edge, right in the edge of that mountain, and all the way down to that part where you can see those rocks. That's where we are going to be, where our campus will be occupying all this gap in between. And so we are planning and hoping that we can build some temporary structures for our classroom program right over here around this area where it's a bit flat. And we don't have plans that are concrete yet, but our desire is to make sure we put a few temporary structures there, perhaps even for the next year's intake of students who will probably come and spend their time here. The 6 weeks program that we are going to offer will probably be somewhere around here. And we'll keep this in prayers and hope that things will go the way we have envisioned it. So right now we're just awaiting the paperwork. We've met with the chief for in several occasions. We have started the first stage in the paperwork route, and we will just continue to pray that things will work out the way God has intended. The Ministry of Education requires that a place that we find must be accessible to transport. And you see where that gentleman is walking in the road, that's where the road is. And the transport, as you have seen earlier, actually stretches, moves from back and forth from the border of Mozambique and Zimbabwe, which is about 60 kilometers going east. And they also require that this place be adequate in terms of space, and as you may see, the space is pretty much there, available. And the other requirement from the Ministry of Education is that the place must have electricity. And as you can see, we are standing right here, and the power lines, the electricity power lines just passes through this whole property to the stretch from the beginning of it to the end of it, as it is going to Nyamapanda border area. And so we have had, and we just showed you the dam earlier over there. They also require that this property must have accessibility to enough water, which is what we just showed you earlier. So this is an ideal place, an ideal property for what we want to do, to fulfill the requirements and of the Ministry of Education in terms of what they expect for us to have. So the process will be, we hope that it's going to move a bit faster now that we have this property. And so we just pray and thank God for providing this place for us.